Would you like to see a better way of recording the last retainage payment? Well, then watch this video and you'll see a better way than what we did in the previous video for recording the last retention payment. If you have any questions about this topic, you can leave them in the comments section below and I'll do my best to help you. And of course, if you feel the video helped you, I hope you will click like and don't forget to subscribe to get updates on new videos that come out all the time. In this video, we will show the second method of recording the last retainage payment when it's finally received by a client. You see, this method uses something called the retainage payment item. Now, it only takes a moment to set up, but it will give you more of what you need when you record receiving the last retention payment for a job. Using this method allows you to bill the client specifically for the last retention payment. It will then add the invoice that you sent to the client for the last retention payment to the client's overall balance. And it shows on the retention report for that specific client, which is better than what was shown a moment ago in the previous video. So how do we set it up? Well, it's very simple. We create an item on the items list called Final Retention Payment, and we make it an Other Charge type of item. We then connect it to the retention receivable account, just like we did the original retention item. From the main menu, we click List, Item List. These are the items we've been working with the whole course. From the bottom left, we click Item, New, and we choose Other Charge. And the name of it is Last Retention Payment. And that's exactly how it will look when you put it on an invoice. And the account that it's connected to is the Other Current Asset Retention Receivable. Click OK, and that's the item that we put on the invoice when we formally request payment from a client for the last retention payment. And now let's see how this works. Let's bill Brown Company for the Lillian Court retention final payment. What will happen at the moment we put the final retention item on an invoice and send it to the client? Well, the retention receivable obviously will go down, because we just billed the client for the last retention receivable. But if we billed them for the last retention receivable, that means that the normal accounts receivable will go up along with that specific client's balance. And that's what makes this method better. In the previous video, retention receivable went down and cash went up, and you did not have any subsidiary client records about billing and receiving the last retainage payment. But using this method it will eliminate the retention receivable account and it will add it to the normal account receivable. So let's imagine on August 1 of 2018, we billed Brown Company for the remaining retention of Lillian Court. Well, what will happen in the trial balance at the moment we take our new item and put it on an invoice and bill Brown Company? You see, Lillian Court is the only retention receivable that remains in the retention receivable account. This $625 is only for that one job. So at the moment that we bill the client for that final retention payment, retention receivable becomes zero because they don't owe us retention anymore because now it's on a bill. But what happens is it goes into regular accounts receivable, and regular accounts receivable will increase by that $625 and become 124,915. Now you don't have any retention receivable, you only have normal invoices as part of accounts receivable. Let's take a look at how it works. We'll open the trial balance before we get started so that we can see the change immediately. This 625, if you double click, you'll see it's only for the Lillian Court job, because in the previous video this 5,000 paid off these others, but now we're doing a better method. So we open the invoice window and we put the date. Well, let's make it nice. We put the date August 31st of 2018, I believe the year is. Okay, it's all right, good. Now we choose the Lillian Court job. Now we are not going to choose the estimate. Okay, the estimate might still be open, but we won't choose it because at this point the estimate should be completed 100%, but it should still say the retainage remaining. Now we click for the item and we find the item we just made, last retention payment. And we have to know, we have to be able to look at the reports and know that the last retainage payment for this particular job that's due is 625. So when we click Save and Close, we achieved everything we need. There is no more retention receivable. It is now part of normal accounts receivable. But the most important thing is to look at the customer-specific reports, because that's what makes this method better. If you look at the open invoice report, you see for Lillian Court, you now have, with Lillian Court, you had this, look at what you have. The January 31 is a regular job invoice that's still open, and the August 31st is the retainage invoice. So you can see in the client's balance, within the client detailed reports, you can see that they owe us $12,500, $11,875 for the last invoice, and since the work was confirmed finished, they also owe us $625 for the final retention payment, and that clearly shows why $12,500 is owed for Lillian Court. And that's why this method is a better method. And one last benefit to using this method, you can include the final retainage payment in the retention report. You just have to filter it the right way. If I open the retention report, it only shows the item of retention itself. It doesn't include the last payment retention item that we just created. And the basic retention report includes all clients. But let's filter it down for just Lillian Court and add the final retention payment item and see what this report looks like. Customize report, filter by item, but this time we'll choose multiple items. You have to scroll up. Watch this. Scroll up to choose multiple items. Scroll down. We want the retention item, and we also want the last retention payment. Click OK. Now we're also filtering by name because we want only that one job, Lillian Court. And when we click OK, now you can see that here are the retention items and the dates and the invoices they were on. In this case, there was only one. And then here is the last retention payment for that very same client. So usually there'll be several down here. We make the name wider. So you can print and give this to whomever you need, that these are all the invoices and the amounts of retention withheld from them, And in this section here shows the last retention payment and the date and invoice number that it was billed. You can learn everything you need in QuickBooks regarding contractor features by watching the full playlist that this video is a part of. You can just click the link in the comment field or under the first paragraph in the description field, and there's also links in the top right of the video as it plays.